Hello and welcome to this new tutorial video about the OpenFlow panel interaction. How to set up and use the OpenFlow panel interaction inside the Avonni component. First, what is the Avonni OpenFlow panel interaction? It's really a new way to embed flows directly into side panels of supported Avonni component. For example, here I have a data table displaying a list of opportunities based on the account I am right now. What I did, I added an interaction to open another flow. It's really to open any flow you want, any stream flow you want inside a component. It's really to open any flow you want right inside a component. For example, here I added this button, and this button will trigger the open flow panel and will open another flow as a side panel. So for example, if I'm clicking on the button, I can see related contact information. The same, I can click into more panels to see and display related information coming from another flow. So that's extremely useful, powerful, and user-friendly to use for the users if you like to really give them more tools to adjust settings. For example, here I'm using the Avonni record detail. So let's say finance. Let's save the information from the other flow. Let's close the panel, and it will automatically refresh the data table. So that's how the flow panel works. Now, let's see how we can configure the flow panel. So I am on Flow Builder. This is the flow to display related contact based on the account I am in right now. So let's open the screen element. Let's go on the Avonni data table. That's my data table, the way I set up the data table. Now, what I need to do first, I need to add an action, a raw action, and a button action would be better. So I'll scroll down to the data mapping section, add a new column, and this column will be a button icon. Then let's say panel for the name, variant brand. Let's type the icon name. So you can pick up an icon from the utility or any other item you want, and save. Okay, the button is created. I can fine tune my button. So let's say fixed width of 40 pixel right there. So it will be maybe more easy to have access to the button. Next, now I need to create the interaction. I need to create and make sure when users are pressing this button, it will open the panel. So that's where I need to go on interaction to create the interaction on raw action because it's a raw action. So add a new raw action, target name, that's the button I just created, panel. And now for the type, I will select open flow panel. Now I need to specify the flow I'd like to open as a panel. So I will just add the flow. It's so I will just add the demo contact panel. Okay, so next, now I need to pass the input variable, meaning I need to pass the selected record ID on the data table to make sure that the flow I'm looking to open as a panel will display the correct information. So here I will name it the exact same name I'm using on the other flow. The value will be the contact ID. Text, perfect. Then you have specific panel settings like position, how you like the panel to open, left or right. So let's say right, outer, if you like. If it's present, the panel is displayed outside the data table. For now, I will leave that unchecked. You can set the size, let's say large. And then you can specify the interaction on finish or on close. What do you want to do when users are closing the panel? For example, when they are closing the panel, I like to trigger the refresh all queries interaction. Why? Because I also want to refresh not only the flow I'm opening, but also the data table to really add the latest information. Save. And I'm done. I just created the open flow panel interaction, link that to the flow I'd like to open, make sure to pass the input variable. So now if you like, we can deep dive into the other flow I'm looking to open, the demo contact panel. It's really what I did first. I just created my input variable right there, It's a record on the contact because I'd like to display other related information from the selected contact. And then on the screen element, I have header and the Avonni record detail to display related information. And I added the upsert interaction to make sure information is saved correctly. So finally, now if you go back right there, we can live test this and it's working as expected. Now I'm able to trigger any other flow inside a panel, which is, I think, more convenient. It's depending on the use case, of course, but more convenient for users because you don't want to, sometimes you don't want to display information coming from another flow inside the model box. Why not having all the information right at the same place? So that's what the open flow panel interaction is doing. Let me know if you have any question. Happy to answer those questions in the comment section below. Thank you. Bye-bye.